Function with Purpose podcast. All things health, wellness, fitness, and education through the physical therapy perspective. I am Dr. Amy Bullock, owner and founder of Fortress Physical Therapy. Fortress PT is here to serve the Charlotte metro area by highlighting the importance of how and why physical therapy should be a part of your health and wellness lifestyle. Here we go, episode 6, season 3, Function with Purpose podcast. Dr. Amy here with you today. Hope your day is well, whether it's the morning, afternoon, evening, or late evening. Thanks for listening. I definitely appreciate it. And season 6. So we're going to talk about pain versus discomfort. Is there a difference? Yes. Hands down, yes. There is a difference. So, kind of talking about pain here to begin with. So, when one experiences pain, or maybe you're performing a movement and you get a sharp awakening or a sharp sensation of pain, and it tells you to kind of stop, hold up, what's up. It doesn't always necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Pain is not always bad. Pain, the experience of pain, is actually a protective mechanism that our bodies help protect us, right? That if we were to continue doing that motion or movement, that we may possibly not have the best outcome or experience. So it tells us to kind of stop in our track and helps us pay attention to that particular area that is experiencing that painful stimulus. So, that can be anywhere from stubbing your toe, right? Or stubbing your finger. You've hit your hand off something or jammed your finger, and it's like, oh my gosh, wow, that hurt. The next time I close my car door, I'm not going to put my finger there, right? It gives us an immediate response that if I do this again, shove my hand in where the car door crease is, that would probably be a bad outcome, right? So, it's basically an emergency system, an emergency siren that kind of goes off. So when I explain kind of this pain experience to patients, I love this analogy, and this came from a book that I've read. It's called Explain Pain by Mosley, I believe. And I like to think of the body, the human body, your body, as one big speaker with many smaller speakers within it, right? A speaker for your elbow, a speaker for your wrist, finger, low back, mid back, neck, right? And sometimes when we experience pain, the volume of those certain speakers, those many speakers in our system, in our body, increases. So then that tells us we need to draw our attention to that area or that particular speaker. Perhaps your knee speaker, right? So when that knee speaker increases in volume, all the other many speakers in your system kind of dim down, right? So it's like, oh my gosh, I'm getting this pain in my knee. I don't know why. This pain volume is increasing. So it acts as a protective mechanism that will warn us there could be some danger ahead, right? This is something that could snowball into kind of like a fire, and it needs to be put out immediately, perhaps, right? And then that's where physical therapy steps in. Because 9 times out of 10, when we experience pain with movement, it's usually a muscle tendon, ligament, or joint thing that is perhaps going on. This doesn't necessarily mean that you need to seek out a medical physician and then get an x-ray, then get an MRI. No, not really, right? Because as physical therapists, we spend the most time with our patients. We spend at least an hour, especially myself. I mean, I'm a one-shot, one-stop, one-person clinic, so I spend a lot of time with people. So pain isn't always bad, right? It helps us warn that there might be some possible danger ahead with whatever I'm doing. If I continue to do this and I don't do a gut check, or maybe stop and just kind of figure things out or seek out physical therapy, I might go down the dark path. I don't want to go down the dark path. So now we flip to discomfort. Discomfort. I want you to think of this word, discomfort. Think of this more of kind of like fatigue, muscle tiredness, or straining. It's not necessarily pain. It's like you can still do the movement. You might not be as super efficient, but you can still kind of get the job done. So discomfort is kind of like getting into, for example, if I were to do a forward lunge, a stationary forward lunge, I lunge out, I kneel down onto one knee and then stand back up. It's kind of like getting into like uncomfortable positions or movements that might be hard for you to get into, but you kind of like appreciate the discomfort on one side versus the other. So a right leg forward lunge might feel different than a left leg forward lunge. It's like maybe your range of motion or something might be a little bit restricted into your ankle. Like your ankle feels more stiff than the other ankle. So that's kind of like the experience of discomfort. It doesn't necessarily like stop you from what you're doing, but it just helps us recognize that it's still kind of, it's okay to perform that particular movement pattern. But then, if I do that movement pattern and I add load to perhaps that forward lunge, I might expect, or probably will experience, some soreness into the thigh muscles and the calf muscles that I'm not really used to. So then I might be sore the next day or two because my muscles and tendons were like being overloaded. They're not used to that position. I tried something new today. So discomfort is, I like to term that, discomfort helps us move into like the next level of progressions of things. It helps us know that when we should turn it up or kind of turn it down with our intensity or exercise movement pattern. Do I need to perform a forward lunge just with my body weight? Right? And I get into a deep lunge, but like my ankle still feels restricted or loss of motion or just kind of feels stiff. But if I load it, I can feel that stiffness even more. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. I might be kind of tapping into a little bit of this pain, and that's not good, right? So there is an extreme difference between experiencing pain and experiencing discomfort. Discomfort, again, helps us kind of move into a progression of movements or a regression of movements, right? We're still able to kind of get the job done, and just kind of appreciate some of the uncomfortable positions that perhaps our knee may experience, or our hip or ankle, as opposed to the flip side, pain, right? Pain isn't always bad, but it is a protective mechanism, right? Like pain is like, I need to hard stop, just completely stop what I'm doing because this just doesn't feel right, right? So pain versus discomfort, or pain and discomfort. How do I kind of increase that awareness between the two? Well, course, I'm going to vouch for physical therapy. We assess human movement. We assess movement patterns. So the body should be able to attain optimal range of motions that it's fully capable of. And more than 9 times out of 10, maybe 9.5, 9.75, us human beings don't assess our full potential to achieve full range of motion, especially in the shoulders and in the hip, knee, and ankle. So this is where physical therapy comes in, and we start assessing that. We start rebuilding the foundation while we educate you that, discomfort, you're going to experience discomfort because your joints aren't used to that. But when there's pain, and pain literally stops you from doing what you're doing, it stops you from performing your due diligence in society, then that's an issue. But if you have discomfort with your front squat because your quad is cramping, that's a movement issue. That's not, oh my God, there's something wrong with me issue. So if you're looking to tap into some untapped potential with movement patterns and your ability to just do and feel strong, definitely, if you're in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, hit up Fortress Physical Therapy. I would love to help you guys out. You can send me a direct message on Instagram. I'm very active on there at Fortress Physical Therapy. Or you can post a comment on this episode in the comments below. I appreciate the listen. And remember, we got to start functioning with purpose, on purpose. That's a wrap for today's episode, Function with Purpose podcast. For more information on this episode, please check out the show notes within your podcast app. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, or drop your comments and questions below. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Thanks for the listen. Pursuit, precision, purpose.